So if you've ever wanted to add a military industrial complex into Anno 1800, an upcoming mod by Hieronymus is going to be one that you're going to want to keep an eye on. He has created a massive mod, a DLC-sized mod for Anno 1800 that brings that military and industrial and marries them together in what I think is probably one of the largest mods I have seen to date. That includes all new custom assets, population tiers, new production chains, modified production chains, modified mechanics to the base game, and so much more. So let's take a quick look at what Hieronymus has been working on and what we can expect from this amazing mod. Now, first thing is first, everything that you see right here on the screen is from the mod, and this is not even everything. This is just some stuff that I placed down to throw together a really quick military area of this town in creative mode, just to show off some of the work that he has done. The military tab is added at the bottom now, and when you unlock your military, you'll have some basic stuff to start placing down. You have your basic encampments right here of soldiers, and they can have up to 50 soldiers if you supply all of their lifestyle needs. That's right, he has even included lifestyle needs, which is really cool. And they have their own basic needs: canteens, field hospitals. They do need bread, which is of course a normal product from the base game. Now we also need military uniforms, basic weapons, cannons, which I think these should be renamed cannons, military training complex, and coins. So several new additions right there, and some modified ones. The weapons chain has been modified to now also need gunpowder, which comes from a gunpowder factory, which you can have an open pit coal mine, which I have one of those right over here. Check this puppy out. This right here is supplying coal. Currently mine's at 140% because I do have some modifiers going on with it with military logistics. But it does produce coal at a fairly decent rate of every 15 seconds. It does take up quite a bit of space though and everything, but this gives you a way to have coal without having coal on the island. It's really great, and an absolutely gorgeous building too. Love the way that right there looks. There's also new buildings such as the Nightery and the Dung Collector, which many of you will know from the Hacienda from Seeds of Change, but we have brought that over into this mod to also affect, things like the stables and stuff right here, which give horses, which is another need that some of these people have for happiness. They want some horses. So lots of really cool additions right there for the base stuff, as well as the upgrades into these barracks and everything else. These barracks look absolutely gorgeous, by the way. Check out those barracks. Just so nice looking. And there's a couple of different models for them, in case you want something a little different. So there are a few different models. I really like this one. I like this because it has the cannons in the middle. So you can make like a whole village of barracks and everything. This right here is the canteen. Again, absolutely beautiful building right there. Really love the way this right here looks. Although I think it should face that way. This is your, if I can select it. There it is. That's the recreation center. It does have actually an input. It does need beer, and it needs cards from card games, which is another new production right here, as well as a paper factory that goes into that to make those cards and everything. So we got some of those over here. Actually, that's the cigarettes factory. We make cigarettes out of paper and hops. This is the paper factory, making paper from wood right here. Again, just absolutely beautiful buildings and everything. This is a military warehouse. This is what actually gives a buff. You see it has a big radius around it. And it's giving us a buff on these buildings of plus 40% productivity, plus 20% workforce required, and plus 20% maintenance cost. And instead of the usual workforce of workers or artisans and so on, it now employs soldiers as workforce. So really cool. Some bonuses and negatives whenever you unlock that big warehouse right there. So very cool. This is a small warehouse right here. It also gives a similar buff to it. But yeah, lots of really fun stuff right there. I really love all of these new additions. There's so much I don't even want to get into everything because this is in development right now, so things may change. But I definitely wanted to show some of that right there off about what all you can build and what you can have. There's even a monument called the Fort, which I'm not going to show off and spoil for you guys because it is absolutely awesome. There's also this beautiful military academy building that he said he's possibly going to update the model for, but I think that looks really awesome right there. You know, it's very grand and everything. It's absolutely grand. That's right. It has modules you can attach to it. I forgot. And see, I'm even remembering stuff. It has modules, and there are items that you can get to go into there. So it's its own type of cultural building with all sorts of different stuff, and you get bonuses for supplying all of these in your academy and expanding it. So yeah, so many cool things that you can do with this right here already, and he has plans for even more. Now, one cool thing is this does cover all the different regions, of course. So the New World, Arctic, and Mbesa all benefit from this system. They all have their own versions of this stuff that have their own needs and everything, although the Old World is the most expanded and the biggest focus of it. All the other regions do get this. Now, what's the point of it all? Why do you need all of this stuff? Well, part of it is because now there's an additional cost to building ships. Trade ships need care packages and sailors in order to be built. Warships also need ammunition and basic weapons, so they're going to need some of that ammunition, and they're going to need basic weapons. This Navy recruitment office uses the mail mechanic, and so the more barracks that are around the Navy recruitment office, the more sailors you have. The more sailors you have, the more ships you can build. So it has greatly expanded the shipbuilding focus of the game to include new requirements and new needs and everything to add to those logistics. That's really, really cool. Speaking of the care package, that care package, I have one right there. So the care package is now available in the Old World right there pretty early on. It's a little bit different from your regular care package, I think. There is stuff that you can build a basic one with water and sausages, potatoes, flour, and beef and water. Or the big care package has biscuits, chocolate, jam, and coffee in it. Now, if you're wondering what water is, well, water is a new resource right here, built from a clean water pump. Pop him down right there. This just has a road radius around it. It's a fairly generous road radius, as you can see right there. And it supplies clean water. Clean water is a need for your people right here. Your workers have a need for it. Artisans do not, however. Just farmers and workers need access to clean water. He's also updated the requirements for like farmers and stuff. Farmers now need also clean water, horses, and a cemetery, which is a new little building right here. Lovely little 3x3 building. It has a few different models and everything, depending on how you might want it to look. But they also have some new needs and everything going up through there. The artisans also need access to that cemetery. However, engineers and investors do not need access to those things. So it's not required all the way up, but some of your lower tiers do have additional needs and stuff with them. A few other changes are that defense buildings are more complex now because they have added workforce and the need of ammunition to the buildings in every region. So now when you go to build your defensive buildings, such as your armor-piercing towers, your fire towers, your cannons, and so on, your mounted guns, and your Big Betty, these will now have a workforce requirement to sustain them, and that workforce comes from your soldiers. Now let's get even more complex. Say we built this cannon tower right here. Well, this cannon tower, as you can see, has a no shell ammunition, minus 1,000% damage per shot, and minus 1,000% attack range. However, there's this little buff right here. It says providing shell ammunition. Now, what we need to do is we actually have to have, well, we can do it from either one. You can have it, this guy right here is a large ammunition depot, although he is missing electricity. What these ammunition depots do is they provide ammunition of different types to the different types of cannon towers or the different towers on your shorelines. So now towers need ammunition from an ammunition depot in order to function. It's really, really interesting. So you can't just slap down a bunch of towers now. Now you have to actually have ammunition that is supplied to them and everything else for them to shoot. There are 4 different types of ammunition. The basic ammunition will supply mounted guns, flak emplacements, and flak emplacements on land. Shell ammunition supplies cannon towers and armor piercing towers. Gas ammunition supplies fire towers, and bombs ammunition supplies monster guns and fort. And monster gun is what was the Big Betty. It's been renamed the monster gun, so it does need bombs. So as you can see, it does show you what you have to have. It does need that shell ammunition. I don't think I have a shell manufactory running. Oh, no, I do. I do have one going somewhere. Oh, there he is down there. Yeah, so he's down there trying to produce all that stuff. It's just because I'm in creative mode that it's being weird like this, so don't panic over it. It's just, you know, creative mode is a little weird. But this does show you the different things that you can have. As long as it has ammunition, then you will get the damage per shot. Without it, you get no damage per shot. Although I don't think that's quite right. I don't think 1,000 damage per shot is right. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. This is a work in progress mod, but it does show you that some of these things are being worked on like that and how they're going to work together. So the question of why would I want this mod is answered by it greatly expands how all of your military stuff in the game works. You can't just pump out ships with sails and wood now. Now you need ammunition, sailors, care packages, basically ration packages, you know, food to take on board the ship for the sailors to eat on. Your cannon towers and stuff now need soldiers and ammunition to function. It adds an entire new layer of complexity to the game that I think is very, very welcome, and it's going to be really, really fun to play around with. Hieronymus does have a long list of things he wants to continue adding to this mod and polishing and working on with it before it's on a full release, and rest assured I will be playing with this mod very, very soon in a new playthrough to show off how it all works, because I think this is a really, really awesome way of expanding the game. It's just adding a new population tier in a way that kind of already fits in with how we manage things in the game as it is already. So I hope you guys are excited about this little bit of a teaser for the military attention mod. I will be playing with this mod in the near future in a new playthrough that I'm planning on. And we are going to have an exciting military industrial complex in Anno 1800 in that game. And I cannot wait for you guys to get your hands on this. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care.